Hey everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Tuesdays with Thadd, where I give a recap of my weekend in wrestling. We will be starting with the FSW Kids Class standouts. The solution was Saturday's Kids Class standout because he performed his second official match later that day. The match was Solution and the Arizona Ace versus Ricky Tenacious and Brandon G, his former trainer. And I really think that match was very good and the Solution performed very well. But we're going to be talking more about that later. Now going on to Sunday's Sky High standout, Levi. Levi was chosen because he came with the intention of going to kids class and going through every opponent that gets in his way, no matter the size. And he did. In all of his matches, he beat up every one of his opponents. For my first match of the weekend, we have a fatal 4-way with Ash, T-Dog the Nutcracker, Jay Solo, and myself. When the match starts, I see that Jamal and T are going at it, so I went after the only open guy, Ash. When he hit me, I wasn't expecting it to be that hard, so I will make sure not to give him that upper hand at all again. In this part, I am being double teamed by Jay and Ash. Jay tried to pin, but Ash wouldn't let that happen. And I'm glad Ash broke up that pin because that gave me some time to rest and that really helped me out. Then Ash moved to attack T-Dog, so I didn't have to worry about being attacked by two people. In this moment, I have a slight advantage because I reversed his spear. Hoping to sustain the upper hand, I tried gaining control of his legs, but he just pushed me off. He grabbed me and then dragged my head on the ropes, which I'm really glad didn't leave a big mark. Right here while I'm choking Ash, T-Dog the Nutcracker hit Jay with a chokeslam. Seeing that size difference, I didn't even know that could happen. Over here, Ash and I go at it for quite a while. It was a lot more difficult than I thought to get him out. Eventually, I found a way to hit him with my spinebuster to get him out of the match. Over here, I sat in the corner trying to get some rest so that way I have an advantage for whoever my last opponent was. And that was Jay Solo. After a bit of fighting, I was able to wear him down and give him two of my shoulder tackles and finish it with my divider. You know, if I hadn't taken that rest in the corner, I don't think I would have been able to win that match. Okay, we are now going on to FSW's Future Shot. We have our first match with Con Osborne and Sanders versus Ozzy Gates and Youngblood Gabe Roca. At first, it was Ozzy and Sanders at the beginning of the match. They lock up and Ozzy pushes with all of his might, but Sanders, being much bigger than Ozzy, throws him to the side. So he needed help to wear down Sanders. Both Youngblood and Ozzy work together very well as a team to get him down. This next match, we have Adrian Rain versus Colin Muldoon. Throughout the match, Adrian was evading most of Colin's attacks and messing with him quite a bit. Adrian seems to have better agility and strength. However, Colin was able to adapt very well to his opponents. They began with a lockup, and Adrian pushes him into the corner and backs away. As the match progressed, Colin started seeing the pattern in Adrian's moves and started being more confident that he would win and gained a much better advantage. We are now going on to Saturday's standouts match with the Solution as well as the Arizona Ace. These two students faced off against Greatness and Tenacious in a tag team match, Brandon G being the former trainer of both students. After the Arizona Ace was double teamed, the Solution is waiting urgently to get in, and when he gets tagged, he wastes no time and comes in and attacks both Ricky Tenacious and Brandon G at full speed. However, even with the Solution coming in with such energy, it still wasn't enough to knock them down. Brandon G was trying to teach his former students one more lesson. But before he could, the Arizona Ace came in and speared Ricky Tenacious to help his partner. This gave the Solution the time needed to recover and get ready to give Brandon G a big splash. Now we have Davion versus C4. If you don't know already, C4 a couple of weeks ago suffered from a knee injury, and at the beginning, Davion thought he had fully recovered from this injury, although C4's knee is still injured. And when Davion realized that, he targeted that same knee the whole match. And Davion got really cocky real quick because he knew that he had the advantage. Despite C4 having his injury, he tried his best to power through. And then Con Osborne, as well as Sanders, came in and attacked C4, causing a disqualification. Up next is a 6-man tag match between the Po Boys and the Asylum. To start the match, we have Phil Godfrey and Jimmy Jack. They both are the biggest guys of each team. And as big as Jimmy Jack is, Phil still has size and strength over him. The Asylum is not a group you want to mess with. They all will not hold back if you get in their way. But the Po Boys seem like a team that could defeat the Asylum. But right now, the Asylum has got Jimmy Jack in their corner, and they all keep taking turns beating him up. Throughout the match, the Asylum did a great job working together as a team, keeping Jimmy Jack on their side of the ring. Later on, the Asylum grabbed Ryder Winston, beat him up, and used him for their pose. Then, Sky High came out to get him away from the Asylum. We've now got a triple threat match between Dana Lynn, SOS, and Taylor York. Dana Lynn and Taylor York tried going after SOS first, and obviously she got tired of that real quick and said, "You know what? Both of you just fight it out. I'm done." And because Taylor and Dana were quicker than her, she had to play it smart. And that alone gave her the advantage, and not to mention her strength. And now, we have Jacob East versus Jaden Cole, aka Spotlight. Jacob started off the match very cocky, and Spotlight needed to prove to him that he should not be that cocky. And if Jacob wasn't as overconfident as he was, he could have had a better advantage. The main event. This is a fatal 4-way tag match with Live Danger versus Young Money versus Freddy Cordova and Enrique Calderon versus Sky High. Although sadly, they did get knocked down at the beginning. A moment later, both Mondo and Robbie Avione get up to attack. However, they get reversed, thrown into the ropes, and then charged at. Then they go down and make their opponents throw themselves out. Once they see their chance, they hit the ropes and dive onto everyone. That is how well Mondo and Robbie work together. Okay, we now are going on to my match on Sunday against Hot Cheeto. Here, Cheeto tries to give me a hip toss, but I reverse it into one of my own because, well, I didn't want to take a hip toss. Then, when he charged at me, I gave him one of my arm drags. I tried giving him a drop toe hold into a headlock, but I guess I made it too easy for him to escape. Next time, I'm gonna make it a lot more difficult because that gave him the upper hand and I don't want that to happen again. Then, Cheater broke out and I raked me. Once I got into the corner, Cheeto saw that, he backed up and then charged at me to attack. After all the attacks he gave me, I tried getting away for a moment, but he kept going. I sat down in the corner, leaving myself vulnerable for attacks like this. Now I know to be careful when I'm sitting in the corner and being attacked like this. I tried getting out again, but then he choked me on the ropes. And after he was done, he kicked the rope. Anyway, I thought I saw a chance and went for it, but it was a trap. He got me with a TKO. Right here, I saw him on the middle rope and stopped him, and got him on my shoulders, getting ready for my divider. And to be honest, I think I hit the divider pretty well here. One quick thing before I have to end the video. John Cena just became the new Intercontinental Champion. I say this because now John Cena has gotten a Grand Slam. Congratulations to John Cena for winning the Intercontinental Championship and getting your Grand Slam. Alright, that wraps up this week's Tuesdays with Thadd. Thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Tuesdays with Thadd. And don't forget to grab your own Thaddeus Cole Raw Determination t-shirts. Just go to prowrestlingtees.com/dcoletees. And our new merch at dickcoletees.myshopline.com. Just use the code 6x9p. And remember, with your support, we will not be divided.